Hello people, I am Ivan and welcome back to my channel where I will talk about literature. I took some few days off because of personal stuff. Also, I wanted to think about what I'm going to film, to shoot, and what I'm going to talk to you about. And today's video is also about A Song of Ice and Fire, and will be about religion. Religion in A Song of Ice and Fire took a very important place, and I am really excited to talk about it. Maybe it's not seen on my face, but I think it would be pretty interesting. There are a lot of videos about religion in Westeros and ASOIAF, but I am going to tell you my thoughts about it, said my thoughts about it, and that's about it. Quick reminder before this video begins, just all of what I'm talking about in this video, it's all my observations, all my thoughts, all my ideas, and don't judge me for that, because my opinion is maybe wrong, maybe right, who knows. It's just, I think that you will like what I'm about to tell you. I want to make two videos on this because as I did this before, in this video I'm going to talk to you about the gods in Westeros, and the other one it's going to talk about the gods of ASOIAF. Like many-faced god, there are other gods in the books that that TV series didn't show us. So let's get it started, shall we? As I said before, religion took a great part in the life of the Westeros and ASOIAF. There are a few of them, but we are gonna start with the faith of the Seven. Let's talk about the faith of the Seven. Faith of the Seven is the dominant religion in Westeros, and it was pretty much based on the Roman Catholic Church in the Middle Ages. Why do I think that? Because I think it's pretty obvious, because there are a lot of similarities between them. For example, first one, it will be, they are both monotheistic. If in the Catholic Church there are three main images of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, there are 7 in the faith of the Seven. That's why I call that. The Father, the Mother, the Crone, the Maid, the Stranger, the Warrior, and the Smith, as I remember correctly. And each one of them has its own speciality, I think. People pray Father for justice, people pray Smith for the craftsmanship, and people pray Mother for mercy, and so on and so on and so on. Also, some similarities, that they are both ruled by one person. For example, the High Septon in Westeros, High Septon of the Baelor, and Pope of the Church in the Roman Catholic Church. They also have their orders in the church. For example, in the Catholic Church there are Francis, Order of Saint Francis, Order of Saint Dominic, and we have sparrows in the A Song of Ice and Fire. Also, minor similarities, such as hymns that take significant part in the masses, the book that teaches morals. There is one memory in my mind right now about the Song of Ice and Fire that is clearly, it's right for this moment. It's the High Sparrow that took control of the church and the Seven Kingdoms in the 4th book. I think his prototype will be Savonarola in the Florence, or in the end of the 15th century, that he also was the fanatic zealot who took control of the city and ruled it for about 4 years. I think it is what is happening in the book right now, that High Sparrow is taking control, which was in the TV series, of course, in the 5th season, as I recall. So let's just see how it turns out for all the heroes in the books. I think there is not so much to talk about old gods than about the faith of the Seven. The old gods were the dominant religion in Westeros just before the faith of Seven, and when Andals came to Westeros and they persuaded everyone to take their religion. The faith in the old gods are almost only in the north and some regions in the Riverlands. Most of the Westeros are under the faith of the Seven. Starks, Boltons, Ambers, all of them are men of the north, and of course they are men that believe in old gods. The old gods is some form of the paganism in our world. For example, Celtic, Native American tribes, and Norse. There are no priests, for example. There are no faith in this. There's just more based on traditions, more on druidism. There are the children of the forest, which are part of their religion too. Just instead of believing in all the gods and naming them like it is in our world, they are animistic and they have no names. The people of the north and the Riverlands just refer to them as the old gods, just not polytheistic. They are not, for example, Loki, Thor, Odin, like it was in Norse mythology. It's just all gods and nothing more. Also, there is more similarities to Celtic tradition. There is a tree, the god's wood and trees in the Song of Ice and Fire, which is similar to Celtic trees in our real world. After the old gods and the faith of the Seven, we have this notable religion that is called R'hllor, or the other, or the light god, god of light and god of terror, and all of it. I believe there is a prophecy in the Song of Ice and Fire that is Azor Ahai, that is legendary hero that will come and bring light to the kingdom of darkness, and battle between the light and the dark will end forever. Which is also remind me about the Jesus. I think it is kind of awkward to talk about it, because there are a lot of similarities between the R'hllor and the Zoroastrianism. Sorry if I pronounce it wrong. It's just so hard to make a parallels between them. So this is really wrong to mark Jesus as the R'hllor or something like Azor Ahai. I think the books are not finished yet. We still are waiting for Winds of Winter, and I think the story of Azor Ahai will be continued, or I hope so, but because there are not so much mention this in the series, in the TV series, I mean in the Game of Thrones, but I'm pretty sure it will be explained in the books as well. There are 2 books left in the series, so we'll keep looking forward to more of the interesting stuff and more religions if they wanted to show us more about them. I doubt there will be no more new religions. There will be more facts, more interesting thoughts in this, more information that we can get some new ideas from there. And the last one is the Drowned God and the Storm God. The Drowned God is it's something like the old gods. They are more like Norse, more like Vikings. That people of the Ironborn believe in that. The Storm God and the Drowned God believes the people who believes in the drowned god, and the storm god, believe that it is the god's blessing to rape, pillaging villages. So just about the Vikings, they took everything from the raids and sacrificed everything for the drowned god. Just look at the initiation when the Ironborn's initiation. They drowned a person to know that they are worthy of the drowned god. So, which is called that. Some crazy stuff, don't you think? Why did they do that? Why they drown the Ironborn in the water? The Ironborns think that their god needs them to be stronger, to be healthier, to be more like a warrior side. Their motto of the Ironborns is "What is dead may never die," motto of the drowned god. And I think that is true, that they are dying during the drowning, and they are reborning stronger, and the weakest are dead, that they are no use to the drowned god. I think it's more like common in the Norse and Norse paganism, more the Vikings and their raids. That is it for today. I hope you really like this one. If you want to support me, please subscribe, hit the like button, also hit the notification bell. Don't forget to follow me on the social media, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. And I'll see you soon. Bye.